The WNBA is currently standing at the edge of a cliff, and if you look closely at the body language on the sidelines, the tension isn't just about basketball anymore. It is about survival. You saw the headline, you saw the highlights, and you probably saw the viral clip of Angel Reese sounding off after her Time magazine Athlete of the Year feature dropped. But what you didn't see was the digital trail left behind in the dark hours of the morning following that interview. Look at this deleted reply from 2:14 a.m. on X. A veteran player, who we will get to in a minute, liked a post claiming that the league's new marketing strategy is a slap in the face to the Black women who built the foundation. This is not just a disagreement over playing time or MVP votes. This is an all-out civil war between the old guard and the new wave, and the cracks in the locker room are starting to threaten the very future of the league. We are going to peel back the layers on the real timeline of this collapse, the evidence they tried to delete, and the fallout that has certain superstars questioning if they even want to be part of the WNBA in 2026. To understand why the league is in actual jeopardy today, we have to look at the smoking gun that most mainstream media outlets are too afraid to touch because it is uncomfortable. That gun is the Erasure narrative. When Angel Reese sat down for her Time feature, she didn't just celebrate her third MVP or her legendary championship resume. She looked directly at the camera and said that the history of the WNBA was erased for a minute. That is a direct, calculated shot at the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. For the veterans, the sudden influx of $2.2 billion media deals, private charter flights, and sellout arenas feels like a reward for a guest who just arrived at the party, while the people who cooked the meal for 28 years are being told to sit in the kitchen and be quiet. This resentment isn't new. It has been simmering since the AAU circuits, but now that there is real money on the table, the polite masks are coming off. We need to go back to the source of the infection. Think back to the moment Angel Reese pointed to her ring finger while staring down Caitlin Clark in the 2023 NCAA championship. The media sold that as a competitive moment or swag, but if you look at the lip-reading analysis from that game, it was personal. That was a flag planted in the ground. The history between these two goes back to 8th grade. They have been the #1 and #2 targets on each other's scouting reports for nearly a decade. But when they entered the league in 2024, that collegiate rivalry turned into a professional powder keg because the veterans chose sides. When Chinetti Carter delivered that hip check to Clark in her rookie season, the cameras caught Angel Reese on the bench. She wasn't shocked. She wasn't checking on the player. She was actively celebrating the physicality, clapping and smiling. On her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, she has repeatedly hinted that the media's obsession with one person is a disservice to the rest of the league. The receipts show a pattern of premeditated hostility that goes beyond basketball. This is where the forensics get interesting. Hours after Clark broke the single-game assist record, several prominent veterans were caught liking tweets that labeled the record inflated and a product of a soft whistle. One of those likes came from a burner account that was later linked to a player's family member. You have to understand the psychology here. These women have played in Russia and Turkey during the offseason just to make a living. They have grinded in empty gyms for years. Now they see a rookie come in with a $28 million Nike deal before playing a single professional minute. Is it jealousy? Yes, but it is also a deep-seated fear that their legacy is being overwritten in real time. That fear manifests as hazing on the court. We saw the full-court press pick up regularly against the Fever, even in garbage time. We saw hard fouls that were classified as flagrant ones, but looked a lot more like messages when you slow down the tape. The podcast era of the WNBA has poured gasoline on this fire. Unlike the NBA, where players usually save the drama for the offseason, the WNBA players are hopping on mics 20 minutes after the buzzer sounds. Cheryl Swopes, a legend of the game, went on a media tour where she incorrectly stated stats about Caitlin Clark's college career to minimize her impact. Was that a mistake? Or was it a Freudian slip revealing the collective unconscious of the old guard? When corrected, the apology was quiet, but the initial disrespect was loud. It signaled to the current players that it was okay to target the rookie. It gave them permission to freeze her out. And we saw that freeze out happen in real time during the All-Star Game interactions. Watch the huddle. Watch who makes eye contact with whom. When the coach drew up a play for Clark, you could see the rolling of eyes from two specific veterans. They executed the play, but the body language screamed, "I don't work for you." The disrespect has now moved from the hardwood to the front office, and this is where the Jeopardy part of the title comes in. We are currently in the middle of a brutal CBA negotiation. The WNPBA is asking for a massive revenue share, pushing for 30% or more. The league is countering with significantly less. Why does this matter? Because the veterans are using their leverage to demand that the Clark effect money be distributed in a way that prioritizes seniority over marketability. This has created a fractured union. On one side, you have the new wave, players like Paige Buchers, Juju Watkins, and Clark, who drive the ratings and the merchandise sales. On the other, you have the establishment, Wilson, Stewart, Thomas, who hold the political power. If they cannot agree on how to split the pie, we're looking at a potential lockout. A work stoppage right now, when the league has more eyes on it than ever before, would be catastrophic. It would be like going on strike the day after winning the lottery. Let's dig deeper into the welcome to the league psychology. When the 2025 All-Star votes were tallied, the players ranked Caitlin Clark significantly lower than the fans and media did. In some anonymous player polls, she was left off the first team entirely. For the person who leads the league in assists and creates the most points per possession, that isn't an objective ranking. That is a political statement. It is a message from the locker room to the league office. You can market her face, but we control the respect. This internal sabotage is what puts the business model in jeopardy. If the league's biggest stars refuse to buy into the narrative that is bringing in the revenue, the media deal could be compromised. Sponsors are watching. They signed up for women's empowerment, not Real Housewives of the hardwood. If the brand becomes too toxic, the money disappears. We also have to talk about the racial dynamics, because you cannot tell the story of the WNBA without them. The league is predominantly black, and for decades, black women have carried the league on their backs with very little recognition or financial reward. Then a white superstar from Iowa comes in, and suddenly the gates of heaven open up financially. It is impossible to separate the basketball resentment from the societal resentment. When Asia Wimpson talks about erasure, she is talking about the fear that the white savior narrative is being used to gentrify the WNBA. This is a valid, painful, and complex feeling that is playing out in flagrant fouls and deleted tweets. But instead of having an honest conversation about it, the league tries to hide it, and the players express it through passive-aggressive likes and podcast shade. Look at the tunnel walk fits. In the WNBA, fashion is communication. We saw a player wear a shirt with a slogan that was eerily similar to a tweet criticizing the Fever's fan base the night before. We saw opposing teams wear all black to a game against Indiana, symbolizing a funeral. These are not coincidences. These are coordinated attacks. It is a level of psychological warfare that we haven't seen since the height of the NBA's Bad Boys era in Detroit. But the difference is, the Bad Boys owned their villain role. The WNBA players are trying to play the villain while claiming to be the victim, and it's confusing the audience. The media ecosystem is also fueling this war. You have the traditional media like ESPN, who are pushing the Clark superstar narrative because it drives clicks. Then you have the player media, the podcasts, and independent creators who are pushing the respect the vets narrative. These two echo chambers are radicalizing the fan bases. The new fans think the vets are bullies. The old fans think the new fans are racist and ignorant. There is no middle ground. And in the middle of this crossfire are the rookies, who are just trying to run a pick and roll without getting decapitated. The smoking gun in all of this might be the upcoming expansion draft. With teams coming to the Bay Area and Toronto, the league is about to get diluted. Every team can only protect 6 players. This means cliques are going to be broken up. We are hearing whispers that several veterans are looking to force trades to specific markets where they can form super teams explicitly designed to crush the new wave. They want to stack the deck to prove that experience still matters. We are moving toward a league defined by narrative alignment. You will either be on a team that supports the new wave or a team that represents the old guard. The days of organic team building are over. So, is the WNBA in jeopardy? The short answer is yes, but not because of the product on the court. The basketball is better than it's ever been. The jeopardy comes from the soul of the league tearing itself apart. When A'ja Wilson feels erased, the league has a problem. When Caitlin Clark feels isolated, the league has a problem. If these two forces cannot find a way to coexist, the $2.2 billion dream could turn into a nightmare of litigation and lost revenue. The fans are here for the drama, sure, but there is a limit. If the drama turns into genuine hatred, the joy of the game evaporates. My final prediction is this: watch the free agency moves in 2026 closely. You are going to see a mass exodus of players leaving teams where they don't feel protected by their organization's PR machine. We will see the rise of player-run leagues or tournaments in the offseason designed to cut the WNBA out of the profit sharing entirely, similar to what we've seen in other sports. The players know their value now, and they're willing to burn the house down to get their fair share. The soap opera is just getting started, and the season finale is going to be expensive. If you want to see the specific breakdown of the deleted tweets and the time-stamped evidence of the collusion against the rookies, you need to check out the deep dive linked in the description. We have the screenshots the league tried to scrub.